It was December in Noran, where the snow fell endlessly and the bitter cold seeped into everything. Sheriff Jack Smith stood looking out the window, troubled by the eerie quiet of the isolated town. Lately, he'd noticed something unsettling. There were almost no children here. His wife, Sarah, approached him. "Jack," she whispered, her eyes shining with quiet joy and a hint of nervousness. "I have something important to tell you. I'm pregnant." Jack's heart swelled with both happiness and a sharp new sense of urgency. He knew now, more than ever, he had to understand the secrets Noran held. The next day, Jack was back at the sheriff's office. He spoke to Sophia, his colleague, known for being observant. "Have you noticed anything strange, Sophia?" he asked, exhaling a quiet sigh. Sophia leaned forward, her voice dropping. "It's the quiet, Jack. It's unnatural. And there are whispers about the Drackle cult. People say they follow strange old customs to keep the town safe from some kind of ancient curse." Jack frowned. "A cult? Trying to protect us? That sounds like local superstition, not a crime." "Perhaps," Sophia conceded, "but traditions can become dangerous when they involve secrecy." Later that week, Jack met Michael, a tough local hunter. Michael led Jack deep into the old forest. "I found something, Sheriff," Michael's voice echoed in the snowy silence. They reached a hidden cave entrance. Inside, Michael lit a lamp. The walls were covered in ancient carvings and symbols, spirals, moons, and strange depictions of hooded figures performing rites. In the center, there was a pedestal, holding a smooth, dark stone shaped like a crescent moon. "The locals call it the Brother of the Moon," Michael whispered. "They think it brings balance to the cold, infertile land." Jack realized this wasn't about monsters, but misunderstanding and history. Jack returned home that evening, determined to protect Sarah. They had just finished dinner when a masked figure burst into their kitchen. The figure moved quickly and silently, holding a cloth to Sarah's face. Jack lunged forward, but the figure was too fast. A moment later, Jack found himself dizzy and alone. Sarah was gone. He stumbled to his feet, gripping his handgun. The house was empty, swallowed by the cold silence of Noran. "The Drackle cult," he muttered, dread seizing him. "They took her." Jack needed answers fast. He drove to the Black Swan Tavern and cornered the massive bartender, Harold. "Harold, I need information. Scar Tyler. Dracule cult. Now," Harold stammered, denying involvement until Jack's firm command and badge made him comply. Harold admitted that Scar Tyler often talked about the cult and their secret meeting place, a deep chamber in the old forest cave. "Scar claims they fear a curse upon the town," Harold whispered. "They believe if new life comes, the cold will consume Noran forever." Jack realized their motives were fear, not malice, but their actions were still criminal. Jack located Scar Tyler's rundown trailer on the edge of town. Scar was terrified when Jack confronted him. Jack pressed him hard about Sarah. Scar finally confessed. The cultists believe new life. A baby must be honored near the Brother of the Moon to maintain the town's stability. They believe they are saving everyone, Sheriff. They think if the balance is broken, the cold will worsen. Scar insisted they only meant to involve Sarah in a ceremony. A misguided ritual, not a violent sacrifice. Jack knew he was running out of time before their fear-fueled traditions went too far. Jack returned to the office and gathered Sophia and Michael, explaining the urgency. "They aren't monsters, just desperate people clinging to dangerous myths," Jack stated. "But they have Sarah. We go in silent, we talk them down, and we bring Sarah home." They raced back to the old forest cave. The tension was immense, but Jack focused on his plan: distract, de-escalate, and rescue. They found the cultists deep inside the cave. About 20 robed figures were gathered around Sarah, who was tied gently to a wooden pillar, crying softly. Standing before her was the cult leader, a woman in a blue robe, preparing the final steps of their ritual. On a stone altar, the ancient crescent-shaped stone rested, representing the brother of the moon. The leader began to chant, attempting to harness the power of the ancient symbol. Jack realized the curse they feared was simply the town's harsh, endless winter. They were terrified citizens, not bloodthirsty villains. Jack and Sophia emerged, guns raised, shouting, "Sheriff's Department! Drop the ceremony now!" Michael quickly fired warning shots into the cave ceiling, causing rock dust to fall, stunning the crowd. Jack stepped forward, lowering his weapon. "Stop! This won't save Noran. Your beliefs are built on fear, not truth. Sarah's life, and the life of her child, is not a sacrifice. It is a promise of hope." The leader wavered, realizing the futility of their desperation. The cultists, seeing the sheriff and his team meant no harm, began to lower their heads in defeat. Michael cut Sarah free. The next morning, the cultists dispersed, realizing their customs had been gravely misguided. They promised Jack to abandon their extreme rituals and instead focus on helping the town survive the harsh winter through unity. Jack and Sarah were ready to leave Noran, but first they stood together by the window, watching the sunrise over the silent, snowy town. Sarah smiled, leaning into him. "We made it, Jack. We're safe." Jack held her close, feeling the warmth of their shared future. Noran had its secrets, but they had their family, and that was the truest hope of all.